Hold on though, are we getting that though about the way that we can get over the golf ball in a way that doesn't stress out the back? I know that a lot of viewers, like, you're looking at that like, gosh, that's me. Like, you know, let's get sharp. And then you get this look. It's like, no, it's like stresses out the back and you really start crunching the lower back, and it kills the way your body can cleanly rotate. You want to make your spine as much of a metal pole in your mind as possible. And believe it or not, it already is that, you know, essentially when you're just standing here. So all you need to do is just find a way to feel like this stays the same and just be like right there. It doesn't take much. The big thing about the lower body, when the hips stay over the ankles, you actually can tilt very little to get the sternum pointed down towards the ball. And look, I didn't tilt a lot at all there, but look how sharp I look over the golf ball simply because I didn't do this. If I sit back, now I have to tilt so much more to get to the same spot, and that's stressful on the back as well, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so hips over ankles, just for you feeling like you're getting your upper body more relaxed and over, right? Mm-hmm. Probably for you feels like you're almost a little bit more hunched, right? Yeah, and it's actually straight.
I feel like Tommy Fleetwood. Just
yeah, just like that. That's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
But you can, you know, just feel versus real. And then the hip bump forward to promote better rotation. And then our smooth takeaway to keep the club in control and out in front of us. Last thing today. Come on over here. Kev, come on over here, buddy.
Butt of the club always points down inside the golf ball, right? So watch what happens to us here. See that first move? Well, and it just gets a little underneath and a little behind us. Club points down towards the ball, but here's the problem.
You just get those hands going this way right away, right? Mm-hmm. And when they get a little inside, what does that mean? They're a little behind your body center. Well, now you have to make that up somehow, and that's one more reason why you'd have to stall out a little bit and throw that club past you, right? Yeah. So that, you know, it's funny. That swing right there was the one where you went looking for the ball. That was that one got inside early. Yeah. Now, I remind this guy, for what can happen is because of the setup and sometimes just being a little bit too upright or sitting back in the heels, those are two things right there that can take the hands and the club around the golfer and a little bit inside, right? Okay, you mix with a little bit of a quick takeaway, and all of a sudden the hands and club part ways with the body and the club goes more inside again, right? So what I want to see you do, excuse me, hips over ankle, you know, tilt shoulders past toes. Sometimes what happens, Ryan, you get too much of this look, you know, with that curve in the back, rather than just tilting over your belt line, okay? When you tilt over your belt line like that, it allows the back to actually be a lot straighter, and that way you don't have that stress on the back like this, you know? Sometimes what you do is you sit back and you get a little upright like this, club and hands get around you, and I want to see you just stand up, over it, flex down, more casual. Good. When you hang your hands, guys, like, I mean, for everybody, like when you hang your hands, the hands should fall to where if you were looking in a mirror, you can see the fingertips on this side of your toes facing the grass, right? So, you know, you don't want to be back in there. That right there is something that, you know, would tell you that you're too upright. But didn't want to harp on this too much. If you sit back with the lower body, if you stand up with the upper body, those are two things that get you taking the golf club inside. Okay, so what I would tell you is just get a little more over it, relax over it on the balls of your feet, slow down the takeaway to make sure the club stays in front of you. And then that's one less reason why that golf club will get behind you and you'll throw it past you and the left shot will happen, okay? So you have hip bump, a little bit more over it and relaxed. Good. Let's take a look at that back. Let's take a look at this posture. Yeah, much better. So take a look at this, Kev. Come back here. Look how his back now is like a lot flatter. Like just relax. Like relax our body. See that? That's fine. Like sometimes what these guys do is they hear good sharp posture and then they stretch their body out like this, and we call it the S curve in the back, and that's why you'll see like, you know, that weird look in the back without the perfectly straight spine. I'm just standing there, and what I'm doing is I'm understanding golf's played easier underneath me than it is around me. So I'm just going right from the belt line and going right over. I'm not going from my rib cage here. You know, that's this. I'm going right over. And what we tell our players, if they don't sit back with the lower body, well, just being able to keep the hip joint over the ankles and tilt over like that, you don't have to be in a stressed out position to have a sharp looking posture, but what you have is a comfortable, functional posture, okay? Let's get in there again. Let's see if we can get that flat back again. Just letting your upper body relax a little bit more, buddy, and getting over the ball. You see, I love that for him right there. Okay, perfect. And then you have the hip bump. Now you have the smooth takeaway. Show our viewer where the club needs to be. Yep, you know it. That's control of the club face right there. If you keep that club in front of you, you have control of the club face. Let's see how he does. Way better. Boom.
Well, that
And
felt
unfortunately,
better.
Kevin and I are both standing in front of the shot tracer.
It's all good.
It's all good. You striped that one though, too. We'll give you credit for it. We'll give you credit for it.
Yeah, I think with like the takeaway and the setup, there's kind of like a scaffolding
Yes.
where you build your building. Like even if you have it, maybe if you get out of connection or anything, like you have the wrong material for the building, but your scaffolding's still there, right? But if you don't have that, you're gonna have a really crappy building.
So people think I'm actually good at teaching, which is really funny. It's like, it's actually not the truth. It's I have just great students that make me look really good. Dude, hey, well said, bud. Well said. Kevin's back there. Kevin and I are looking behind the camera. Kevin's like, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stop talking. Take over, Ryan.
Yeah, what's up the video of that?
And my name's going first on this project.
Beautiful, dude. And here's the thing. With our players, it doesn't get much past that. Setup reminders and a takeaway reminder. I mean, that's, at that point, I mean, the setup is, it's been said that 9/10 of the swing are already done. But get setup and takeaway. I mean, you're sitting there looking at 95% of the swing is just, it's done. Now it's just a matter of just turning and turning, okay? So, because the setup puts you in a position to be able to make that clean, efficient turn. People talk about side bend and all this stuff and like maintaining spine angle. It's like, yeah, well, get the person in the right setup and then attempt that. Because a lot of times being in the right setup does it by itself. Being in the wrong setup, I know, forces you to rotate incorrectly and do things incorrectly to get the club to the right spot. So the big thing is, you know, get the right setup and then build connection in the swing. Where he was losing connection was, not only was the setup a little off, right, but the golf club and the hands were getting a little bit behind us. So we immediately get it back out in front of you. Now what do we see? Every shot starts dead on line with the white flag, if not maybe a couple yards right. At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.